What's going on, folks? Hope you're having a wonderful night or day. Welcome back to the Dread Knight Chronicles. We are getting ready to enter the Depths Expedition. Finally, we are ready to party. I'm level 47 right now. I waited until this point to enter the depths for the very first time. I also have some gear that I bought off of the auction house. I wanted to make sure that I was completely prepared for this. I've heard some things about the Depths Expedition this time around, and that it might be much harder than it was in the open beta, or the closed beta rather. So I wanted to make sure I was absolutely ready. This is going to be a 2-key run. So I'm going to be using my key the second time around. They're going to use their key first. So luckily we won't have to waste ours right away, just because, just in case if we wipe a lot and if we fail, everybody gives up. Don't have to worry about that the first time around. Hopefully we'll be able to get some decent gear so that the second one goes pretty smooth. But we'll see what happens here. I do want to talk about a little bit about the Soulwarden aspect today that I was mentioning yesterday, because I did find out some interesting details when I went back and confirmed everything that I was talking about in the last episode, with how when you become a Soulwarden at a certain point in time, you're going to basically die one way or another. So I know, like I said before, when you live on Eterna, when you get here, eventually you're still going to die. Your life might be prolonged, but your spark will eventually like run out. So what'll happen is that you can potentially become like lost, or you might become something else. If you look at a character called Hazel, the one that I was talking about in the last episode as well, just before the end of her life, she actually wrote a page in her journal that talked about how she has, lived a long time. She doesn't know if it was 100 years or 10 years, how long she's lived, but she was at the end of her journey, and it seemed like she didn't really, get killed by anything, or wasn't being hunted by anything. It just seemed like she died of natural causes. But she ended up becoming a wraith in the end. If you go to Weaver's Fen, I believe you'll be able to do a quest to fight her actually at some point during the side quest storyline. So we can see that she has become a lost. If it was a corrupted situation, where if you died to a corrupted, then you would turn into a corrupted instead. But yeah, if you either die too many times to a lost, I suppose, or you die just too much in general, or you just live past your prime or whatever, it does seem that you will become a lost, like a guarantee almost. Like you'll potentially become a wraith, or just a straight up withered zombie. And then if you die to a corrupted, then you'll have a high chance of becoming that instead. If you die to ancient guardians, it doesn't seem like anything will happen there. Like you're not going to become an ancient guardian or anything like that. You'll probably become a lost if you run it enough times. Hold on, they're asking how many times we've run this. Okay. But yeah, like I was saying, when it comes to death on this island, it does work much, much different than, you would normally expect. So, different things can cause you to turn into different things. The Siren Queen, who is one of the characters that I really enjoy talking about and researching on in this island, she's actually capable of turning you into an undead pirate. She has some device over there in Reekwater that the ancients seem to use to bend the soul in many different ways, like manipulate, reconstruct, and just bend altogether the soul. So when she does that, it kind of turns you into a more obedient, a more accepting undead pirate, because all of her crewmates, as we know, if you go over to Reekwater, you'll see this too. They're all undead pirates, and they all follow her command. And many times in the story, it's told, like, if you were to die to a corrupted, like I said, you will become a corrupted. Very, very likely. I haven't seen any stories yet where somebody has come across the corrupted and they've been stabbed, or, taken alive prisoner, because they do that sometimes too. Taken alive back north and come back as a regular human. But I'm really interested to see what happens later on in the storyline, like as we progress, because there's going to be some things that I'm really, I'm wondering how they're gonna play this, because if spoiler alert for this too, in the future there is going to be an expedition in Shattered Mountain in Mirkgard called Isabella's Lair, It's one that I showcased during the Mercguard guide video that I did about a week or two back. And it does seem like we're going to fight Isabella in there. And we might not kill her we're probably not going to kill her at the end of this current main story, but when they put that expedition in, there's a high chance that she might die in there. But the question is where we're going to go after. And one thing that I hinted at in the first episode is how later on in the storyline, like after we get the zone of Brimstone Sands, because if you haven't looked at the leaks, there is a zone that's supposed to be coming. It's a big desert region. Actually, if you look on the map and you go over to this top left side region, you can see the outer layers of it, and there's been plenty of leaks of this. People have been glitching into the zone. We've had plenty of leaks in the lore and stuff like that pop up. So there's a lot of stuff that indicates that Brimstone Sands is probably going to be the next one. But after that, though, we're not exactly sure what's going to happen there. But there was a lot of rumor a while back in like data mining going on where it seemed like we might actually come across a zone that might be under the name Morrowtide. But essentially what it might be is we might come across an area next where the ancients, the ones that are still alive, because apparently they're not all dead, have retreated to when the corrupted gain power. So the statues that you see around the island are known as the Beings of Four. They were actual, I was able to find this out a little bit ago, they're actual statues of beings that existed on this island long ago. And they refer to them as the Beings of Four in the Morningdale lore pages called the Visions of Madness. So I'm expecting that if we actually get that zone next after Brimstone Sands, we might come across those entities and might even have to fight them, because I can imagine that the ancients, when they see that the corrupted are, officially gone, they're probably going to want to try to reconquer Eternum. But we're going to be here, so they're going to have a little bit of a difficult situation with that. But there's a lot that they could do with that. There's also, aspects of naval in there, naval possibilities. So I'm really curious to see where they go with that. But either way, let's go ahead and jump into this depths expedition. We've talked enough about this stuff so far. I'll jump into a little bit about the Soulwarden aspect once we do get in a little farther past the entrance. But I'm going to go ahead and jump ahead. Let's get right in here. Let's do this. All right, we are working our way through the dungeon. So far, it's going pretty smooth, though. We got a solid comp here. Like, we got some decent AoE. We got some decent DPS. I'm liking it. So, what I wanted to talk about a little bit before we get to the first boss, I suppose, is for Jonas. So, Jonas the Hermit that, of course, gives you the main story quests that you get at around level 12. After you progress through like the starting quest lines, that guy is he's not going to get such a happy ending later on in the game. You see, during one of the testing phases, I had been able to sneak into an area where you're able to see Jonas in his corrupted form, and I can't remember if this is going to be a part of the quest lines or not, but essentially what's going to happen is that because he's a Soulwarden and because he's one of the oldest that we've seen so far, this guy eventually does succumb to the corruption, unfortunately. And in his page, he kind of describes how, as a Soulwarden, you tend to get to a point where you're going to fall, basically, is what he says. So you'll fall to either Azoth or corruption. One of them is basically going to take control of you, so basically becoming like a lost or a corrupted kind of thing, like I was talking about earlier. And he says that when you fall as a Soulwarden, you fall hard. So that's kind of why I had talked about the death aspect of Eternum, because even though we have eternal life, the land promises eternal life, sometimes it's not all that eternal. You know what I mean? So even though, the island has been described in the past as like the fountain of youth, very rarely have we seen people that have lasted, at least so far, more than a couple centuries. There might be a couple, there might be at least one or two that maybe have lasted, about 500 years or so, but haven't seen too many, according to the stories. And of course, lasting that long to begin with on this dangerous island is a chore in itself, because you have so many deadly things that are coming for you just from left, right, and center. So it's almost impossible to survive for that long on this island unless you just stay in your house all day and then hopefully nothing comes knocking at the door. because there's danger around every corner on this one for sure. But I'm really curious to see how this one will evolve, you know, story-wise, how the game itself will evolve. Like I said before many times, it does have a good foundation. It just needs to get expanded on. We need to get some, you know, in my opinion, I would say, you know, some really impactful, maybe supporting characters might be nice. Ones that we can rally behind, you know, ones that we can see grow with the world itself, because we don't really have anybody like that yet. We do have a good foundation for the villains, though. But one thing that I was worried about, and I hope that they don't do, is I was kind of worried that they might take the villains that we have currently, like Isabella, the Siren Queen, and the Empress, and just make expeditions for them, which, you know, the Empress already has one, and the Siren Queen should be getting one, along with Isabella should be getting one too. And I was kind of worried that maybe they will just kill them off in those expeditions, you know? And I feel like those villains deserve a much better way to go out. And even, you know, much more screen time, to be exact. You know, much more time in the story, much more time in the game. I'd love to see these guys evolve and, you know, take this story in a big direction. But we'll have to see what happens there. This big bastard is beating the crap out of me. But as you'll notice, like if I hide the HUD, the depths is actually just another version of Amrine Temple. Like you can see this bridge right here, how it looks exactly like it. And I think even in Shattered Obelisk you'll see some similar things too, considering Shattered Obelisk, I believe the story behind that is we're supposed to be going deeper into Amrine anyway, into the excavation to get into, you know, to go through Shattered Obelisk. But this dungeon itself, I think it's going to be pretty tough when we get to Thorpe. The first boss might not, you know, pose too much of a challenge, but it is Thorpe that I'm worried about, so we'll have to see how we do with him. But, you know, we can't know until we try, right? We cannot know till we try. In the meantime, I'm just going to keep trying to tank as best I can. Now, I don't have any purples right now. I wish I did. But we're going to try to get some in this dungeon. I'm still working on my armor crafting. I put it in the beginning, what level my armor crafting's at, but I'm above 100 now. I'm trying to get past 110 so I can make the replica items from this expedition, because I believe you got to be at 110 to make those. So I'm pretty close. I just got to do a little bit more farming, but at least I'm in here and able to start farming the materials that I'll need for it, because that's where you get the replica materials, is in the expedition itself. So being in here is at least pretty good for that. Oop, I missed. On it. And I do know there's a couple builds that are out there where, like, with the reverse stab, because people were telling me about this during the stream that I was doing last time, how if you use the reverse stab, you can reduce the cooldown severely on, like, your Defiant Stance and Shield Bash and stuff like that to get extra taunts. And I do like that build. I love the concept of it. However, for me right now, it would take too many points out of the Defender tree as I was testing it to get the full, because the last passive is what you need for the cooldown reduction on reverse stab. So I wouldn't be able to get defensive formation right now unless I sacrificed a couple things that I would really want. So right now I'm not really using that one. However, in the future, like for certain expeditions, like maybe Lazarus, I think I would totally use that on Lazarus, for Scylla especially. But for this one, I probably won't even need it. So if you're wondering why I'm not using it, it's pretty much for that. Like I want to have the extra damage mitigation passives on right now, and also I don't feel like I need that, and I don't think I'll be able to gather up enough of these enemies for it to matter, because I believe it's about at least 3, and you should get at least 75% cooldown reduction, at least 3 enemies, 75% cooldown reduction on your Defiant Stance, which is really good. But knowing my luck, it'll probably end up being situational. See if I can burst that mine. Oh, never mind. Do want that over there. Want to mine that life jewel. See if I can grab aggro. Well, I meant to dodge that, but there wasn't enough time. Once I started the attack, it was too late. Okay, cool. Ah, I didn't even get it. Damn it. I wanted it too. Okay, let's get this guy. So far so good. We're doing pretty good here. And what I'll probably do, because I don't want to, you know, because the dungeon itself will probably take about an hour, but I don't want to record the entire thing, is the next time we jump, which will be in about two-ish minutes, I'll just go ahead and skip to like the last 5 minutes of the first boss. That way we can just chop it up in chunks. You can see the last phase of that fight, which I've done plenty of times as well. The first boss should be just fine. And then for Thorpe, we might make that a 10-minute thing, because for that fight, I want to make sure we can showcase as much of that as possible. And hopefully we don't get any wipes, but we'll see. On Thorpe, it's very possible to get some wipes. I still need to look through the mechanics a little bit of what we were doing during the beta, because sometimes fighting Thorpe can get a little hazy for me. I think the best luck that we had was me just stacking next to Thorpe the entire time, even when he had the minions, and trying to pull those minions onto Thorpe as well to AoE them down. But we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Okay. Ow. Oh, Defiant Stance would have been perfect on these ones too. That's okay. Still got him. Perfect. Okay. And then we can just teleport in. First those mines. That way? Oh yeah, chest. Good call. Perfect. All right. Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, the corrupted talismans, those right there, that's what I need for the replica to craft those. And I really want to get that set because the Wraith Hunter set looks so badass from the depths. I need to get that so badly. But all in due time, all in due time. All right, welcome back, ladies and gents. We are in the middle of the first boss fight. So far, it's going pretty good. Pretty nice here. I need to repair my sword, actually. Need help? Somebody come over here with me. Come on. Yes. Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay. Somebody else get that while I'm repairing my stuff, please. Coolio. Alright. So yeah, the way this boss works is basically it's just a tank and spank for the most part, except at certain phases throughout the fight we have to go to the platforms. So we just have to teleport up just like you saw, and then we have to take out the mobs and then cleanse the breach basically. So we're going to have to do that again, except this time around it's going to be a thing where we'll have to use both sides and clear out the mines in the center. So it'll be a little bit tough, but we'll get it done. Try to dodge that, thank you. Make sure I dodge that. Okay. No words go left. I got right. Ian Bravos. think this might be the first time in. Keep that heal going. Keep that heal ticking. Almost. All right. Need to retick my food up. Oh, he's dead. All right. Sorry, buddy. We almost got him, though. It's our first try as well, so we should have this now. Just burn him. All right, sweet. Good job. We got it. And I got the miner's pants. Yes, I got the miner's pants and the miner's shirt this run, and I also have the miner's glove in my bank. So all I need is like the headpiece and the boots. So far, so good. Let me make sure I didn't forget that chest. Hold on. Okay, cool. We're good. Alright, so now we just have to deal with Thorpe. And Thorpe is gonna suck to fight, but I'm just gonna try to stick next to him the whole time. I just know we gotta be careful when he summons the minions. Make sure to AoE those down as soon as possible. And I'm gonna try to stay next to him for most of the time, except when he does the beam, of course. Then we run out of that. Try not to get beamed down and killed. And hopefully it'll go okay, but we'll see. We'll see. Oops. Get my earphones out of the way so I can properly use this mouse. Okay. But so far the run's been pretty smooth. We did lose the first DPS that we had, so we had to get a replacement. No idea what happened there, but it's going pretty solid now. I'm not sure who that is. I'm gonna just turn on this tab really quick. Actually, let me turn on the group chat one. All right, there we go. Probably overkill, but I'll just do it anyway. Client stance. But yeah, so far we're holding out pretty well on the tanking side in here. Now, when we get to Thorpe, though, that's another story entirely. Don't know how well that's gonna go, but we'll see, though. We'll definitely see. Watch out for the mine. See if I can pull aggro on this guy. Defiant stance. Got it. This'll strike, you say? I gotta check that out. That sounds pretty good. Gonna try to dodge that. Didn't get a chance to. Two sacred grounds. Okay. I got the big boy at least. Can't do anything to my block stability. Please. Okay, it's Thorpe time. Gotta be super careful now. Oh, that's got keenly jagged too. Nice. Alright, let me salvage some stuff. I'm gonna keep the blues, more than likely. Try to sell those later, even though the market's probably super tanked on all this stuff. Gonna give it a shot. Ooh, that shield looks pretty nice, actually. Check that out in a second, too. Okay, I should have them. Ouch. Playing hardball, are we? Mine. Priest. Looks pretty good, though. I like it. Alright, let me salvage some of this other stuff here. Battle mage gloves. That helmet, nah, stats aren't good on it. Not for me. Con int. I'll use that. So I don't have focus on this other one. Ooh, that takes care of the legs for me, actually. Because I don't think I have the legs, right? I don't think I have the legs, actually, for the mining stuff, too. Oh, never mind. I do have the legs. Okay. Other chest of the Warden. All right, let's take out this big bastard. Archibald. Ow. I probably should have blocked that. They were taking a little bit on that corruption tick as well. I do have pots in my inventory for it. I just gotta grab them. Bear glitching right now? I think the bear's glitching. What's the timer on my... Damn it. Okay. Probably got to put my constitution food back on. Pop that again. Okay, yeah. We're going to need that for Captain Thorpe. Absolutely going to need that. Going to help us a ton. I'm going to pop a corrupted tincture in just a little bit here as well. Okay.
This will be the last time we meet.
Okay. Here's the big boy time. We got Captain Thorpe. Second phase. Beam. Okay.
Time to taste corrupted steel. Prepare to have your soul crushed.
Okay. Come on, Thorpe. Come on. Gotta get that invigorating bulwark off. I think he's about to do it.
Will be the last time.
Okay, he's doing the mobs. Get those.
Prepare to have your soul crushed.
The beam seems like it's a little bit slower this time around, which is good.
Time to taste corrupted steel.
Okay. I'm gonna need all the fortify I can get for when he does that special move.
Prepare to have your soul crushed.
Put that there.
Time to taste corrupted steel. No.
Yes.
Not
Holy crap, that was so easy. Wow. For some reason, I was expecting a third phase. He just got smacked. That was super easy. Wow, okay. Well, I guess that was Thorpe then. Hell, that felt like it lasted less time than the first boss did. But yeah, first try. I'll take it. Let me ask these guys if they want to do another run. Another run. Got another key if you guys want to. I think we'll end the episode here, but I got another orb to run with, so I'll take it. That was pretty solid, but I'm enjoying it so far. I want to see if I can get some purples, but I did get some materials to craft the replicas at least, so I've got 13 of these talismans, so that means I think I should be able to craft at least one piece of the Wraith Hunter gear once I get to about 110 armor crafting. So I'm at 107 right now, so we're getting there. We're getting there. Ooh, he's got the great axe. Nice. All right, but I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for joining another episode of Dread Knight Chronicles, and I will see you next time. Later, folks.